You know, inside every single one of us, there's this silent, incredibly complex world that's working around the clock every second just to keep us in balance. So today, we're going to take a journey deep inside that system to really understand a pair of vital organs whose quiet cries for help are, well, all too often missed.
Think about it for a second. You ever wake up feeling just tired, even after what felt like a full night's sleep? Or maybe you've noticed your ankles are a little swollen, or your pants feel a bit tight for no obvious reason. Maybe you're finding yourself getting up more and more in the middle of the night. So many of us just shrug and say, well, I guess this is just getting older.
But what if they're not? What if these aren't just the unavoidable signs of aging? What if they're actually very subtle, very quiet warnings from a critical system inside you that's starting to fall behind, that's really beginning to struggle under its daily load?
So that's what we're going to dive into. We're going to explore the absolutely huge and frankly often overlooked role that your kidneys play. And more importantly, we're going to learn how to decode that quiet language they use when they're signaling for help. I mean, it is just an incredible feat of biological engineering. These two little organs, each about the size of your fist, they quietly filter around 50 gallons of blood every single day, all night. They never get a break. And when they start to slow down, even just a little bit, your entire body's going to feel it.
And this isn't some rare thing. We're talking about a massive, widespread, and silent problem. Over 37 million Americans are already living with some kind of kidney stress. And here's the really scary part. The vast majority of them have absolutely no idea.
And that quote, it really gets to the heart of the matter. See, kidney stress doesn't show up with loud, five-alarm fire symptoms. It doesn't shout, it whispers. And those quiet whispers, the fatigue, the swelling, that foggy thinking, they are just dangerously easy to ignore until a whole lot of damage has quietly built up over time. But here's the good news. Supporting your kidneys doesn't mean you have to turn to complicated procedures. In fact, some of the most powerful, effective, natural support can be found right there in your own kitchen. Yeah, probably hiding in plain sight in your spice rack. So let's meet our first powerful ally. I want you to think of this spice not just as something you sprinkle on food, but as a kind of guardian, a protector for the millions of tiny, delicate filters that are working inside your kidneys every single second. You see, the primary threat here is a quiet, invisible force. It's called oxidative stress, and the best way to think about it is like rust. It's a process that gradually weakens your kidney tissue in pretty much the same way that rust weakens metal. You don't see it, you don't feel it, but the damage is slowly building up. And this is where cinnamon really shines. Specifically, we're talking about Ceylon cinnamon. It has this natural compound in it called cinnamaldehyde, which is basically a potent antioxidant that helps neutralize that rust-like stress. As a bonus, it also helps keep your blood sugar levels healthy after you eat, which takes even more strain off your kidneys. Okay, but this is absolutely critical to understand. Not all cinnamon is the same, not even close. The common kind you find in most grocery stores, that's cassia cinnamon. It's high in a compound called coumarin, which can actually be harmful if you take a lot of it. The one you want to look for is Ceylon cinnamon, sometimes called true cinnamon. That's the one that's safe for daily use. Okay, so cinnamon is on the job protecting the filters, but what happens to all the waste after it's been filtered out? Well, it needs to be flushed from your body. And for that job, we turn to a surprisingly powerful and, honestly, often overlooked herb. See, when your body isn't efficiently removing the waste your kidneys have filtered, it just hangs around in your bloodstream longer than it's supposed to. And that is what shows up as that feeling of heaviness, bloating, puffiness around your ankles, and that constant low energy that so many of us just blame on aging. And this is parsley's moment to shine. It contains natural compounds that gently, and I mean gently, stimulate urine production. It's not harsh at all. It's more like a soft, natural encouragement. Think of it like trying to unclog a slow drain. It just helps your body finally clear out that waste that was backing up, and that often leads to this wonderful feeling of lightness and renewed energy. All right, let's move on to our third spice and see how this all connects. So we've protected the filters with cinnamon, and we've helped eliminate the waste with parsley. But none of that can happen if the kidneys aren't getting a strong, steady supply of blood to begin with. This is where cayenne pepper comes in. The active compound in it, capsaicin, actually helps your blood vessels relax and open up. It's kind of like a garden hose that's been squeezed or kinked. The water just trickles out, right? Well, capsaicin helps release that pressure, allowing blood to flow much more freely, delivering all that vital oxygen and nutrients right to your kidneys so they have the fuel to do their job. So now you have this amazing trio,
protection, elimination, and circulation. But there is one foundational element, one critical piece of the puzzle that decides whether any of this really works at all, and it's something most of us totally overlook.
You could be using all the right spices, all the right herbs, but without this one simple daily habit, they might as well just be passing right through your system without really doing much good at all. So, what is it? What's the missing piece?
It's water, plain and simple. We have to see water as the silent partner to every single spice we've talked about. Without enough water, your blood literally gets thicker, filtration slows to a crawl, and the very toxins you're trying so hard to get rid of just end up staying right where they are.
Now, even if you get your hydration right and you're using the right spices, there can be silent enemies working against you in your daily diet. So let's take a quick look at the everyday foods that can quietly undo all of your hard work.
Really, it comes down to three main culprits. First, too much salt, which makes your body hold on to water, leading to that puffy feeling and putting strain on the whole system. Second, high oxalate foods, things like spinach and almonds. Now, they're healthy, but in excess, they can form tiny crystals. And third, added sugar, which just forces your kidneys to work way harder over time.
All right, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's pull all of this together now. Let's consolidate everything into a clear, simple, and memorable action plan that you can literally start using tomorrow.
Here it is, the entire strategy in 6 simple steps. You protect your kidney filters with Ceylon cinnamon. You help eliminate waste with fresh parsley. You improve circulation with a little pinch of cayenne. You flush the whole system with plenty of water. You reduce the dietary stress by being mindful of that salt, those oxalates, and the sugar. And finally, you boost everything with a little gentle daily movement just to keep that circulation flowing.
That's the path forward. It's simple, it's affordable, and it's really powerful. So the only question left to ask is this. As you look at this system, what is your first single step going to be for tomorrow morning?